Well, g'day. Welcome back to Dust Customs, and what a week it's been. It's been hectic here this week. Insanely hot, followed by these crazy storms, and I'm talking like blowing trees over. Like, we've been out of power for 2 days now, 3 days now, and it's not coming back on anytime soon. So I've been running around. I went and built a generator this morning, so currently the whole thing's running on generator. Which is good. I learned a new thing about electricity. You can actually backfeed through the power point. So that's something I learned in the last couple of days. Anyway, so I've been spending money on stuff like that, and I can't afford to be spending money on the things that I want to be doing. So I'm just going to have a go at something that's been sitting on the shelf for a while, and that's Carlin's 1916. Look, I've been tinkering away with this thing for the last week or so in the background. I got some bits for it. After learning a lot when I was building the 2110, going back over this motor, I realised that my assembly on it last time wasn't great, and I've learned a lot since then. So we're talking valve geometry, end play, all that kind of stuff. I've learned a lot about, and I'm sorting it out on this engine. The only issue is that the only exhaust I've got and the only tinware and all the bits and bobs I need are currently in the rat trap. So look, we're pulling a motor again. I've got bits on the shelf behind me. They're actually a set of Chinese 45s that I had sitting in a box. They were originally on this engine when Carlin built it. I've jetted them to suit. There's been a bunch of stuff going on in the background, so let's just start tearing into this thing and see if we can reassemble it. Anyway, welcome back. We're kind of doing this a different way than I've ever done it before. So remove the exhaust off there, remove the fan and all that kind of stuff. It's going to make it a lot easier to pull, rip the carbies off. So that's kind of cool. I've been running these MP carbies, these HPMX 40s, on the last 4 motors that have been in that car, and so I'm going to give something else a go. We're going to go these, which are basically, as far as I know, just the cheapest Chinese carby on the market. They're a 45, so they're a bit bigger, and I got a feeling that those MPs have been causing me trouble since the beginning. So, when I got them, they weren't even jetted the same. So, I'm just going to give something else a go and see how that works out. Alright, so that is ripped out. I'll probably be using this front pulley. It's the best one I've got. This is set up with not only a deep oil sump, which has been a problem for me, but she's also set up with a remote oil filter, which has also been a bit of a drama with this thing. So all that on the other motor, it doesn't have any of that, which is great. I was going to try and pop the tinware out, but then I remembered to do that you've got to pull the hinges off, so we're not going to go there. Basically, I'm just going to remove these 2 lines. I might even actually remove the oil filter off the body and just let it dangle. Still need to get the oil pressure. Switch off that, and I'm going to reuse all this tinware on that other motor. So hopefully within the next hour or so, I can just do the reverse of what I've just done in the last 15 minutes and put this thing back together. It never goes back together. All right. Now look, that might have seemed like a bit of a interesting way to pull an engine. I've never done it that way before, but I needed to disassemble it all anyway, and it was just there and easy, so previously I've had to just shoehorn these things in there, and you'll see by the tinware when I show you, like there's evidence of me just trying to jam them in there. And that was pretty easy. So I might just do the reverse and throw it back in the same way. I mean, I just find that usually, yeah, I'm just bending and scraping stuff, and that just pops straight out. So I don't need the flywheel, do need the clutch, pressure plate, don't need the oil cooler, do need the exhaust, do need the valve covers, do need the spark plugs. Other than that, do need the front pulley, tinware, yeah, so I'm just going to keep stripping it down and do the reverse. Righto, well I thought I'd just go over a couple of things here, which most of you probably know, but some of you might not. One of them is about pressure plates. There's different classes of pressure plates, or stages as they call them. There's your standard pressure plate, then there's a stage 2, 3, 4. They get really, really heavy, and once you get past a 2, you kind of need to have a hydraulic clutch and what's not. And I'm going to show you the difference right now. Here is a stage 1 pressure plate, just a standard pressure plate. This is for an early car. Early cars had a plate in the center of the splines, the tines I think they're called, and that's that there. Now, just to show you the difference, I'm going to go into my clutch and pressure plate section over here. Right, this here is that's actually a stage 2. So this is a stage 2 for a later car. See, no ring in the center. Different. Now, the difference between stage 1 and a stage 2 is basically the clamping pressure of that spring. So heavier spring, it's going to make it more engagement in the clutch. So like you're not going to get the clutch slip. Now, this little motor over here, I have no idea what horsepower it is, but it should be a healthy little motor. It's, you know, has the potential of being 100 horsepower, maybe. I mean, it has 044 heads. It has heavy, you know, single valve springs. It's got the big valves in it. It's got a counterweighted crank. It's got a C35 cam in it, I believe, from memory. Light and flywheel, you know, it has some goods on it. Like, it's not a high-powered engine by any means, but it's not also a slug. So, look, I figured I've got it. I might as well put a stage 2 in it, and there's that stage 2 with the center ring. All right, well, this is where I'm at. It's the next day. I got a bit done yesterday. Still no power, so I'm still running on a generator. And today I want to stab this thing in the car and get it cracking. I'm going to give you a look around. Alright, so I've decided to do a bit of a segue here. I've never been happy with how the back of this thing looked. You know, it's not a nice looking engine bay. And I had these that I scored when I bought the 2110 off Hydra. He'd made up these panels. Now, I think this was his kind of first attempt at making this stuff, and it's not bad. Like, it's not perfect, but it's not bad, and it's definitely good enough for this car. So it's like a rolled aluminium, very light sheet. It's just a dress panel, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, you know, give Rack Track a little bit of a tart up by just putting this panel that goes there. And then it's got these side panels that, you know, bolt into that one as well. Boom, boom, and then the other half there. And it'll just give it a bit of a nice look. So I'm just going to work on trimming these in, just trying to make them fit a bit better. It was designed for a later Super Beetle, so they don't quite fit perfect, but hey, it's going to be good enough for what we're doing. And I've got to use them somewhere, and I'm never going to have a Super Beetle probably, so I'm just going to work on this for a little bit and see if I can, you know, make this thing look a bit prettier. A little nip here, a tuck there, and they actually fit pretty well. I've got the back tacked in with rivets, and the fuel pressure regulator is kind of holding all that in, and it's good, happy with that. The sides are just loose at the moment. I'm just not sure how it's all going to fit with the carburetors and stuff. So also the wiring, I've got to make sure I've got the lengths to get back to my stuff. Well, I've had a hell of a good push on this. It is just about there. Went together pretty easy. I'm really happy with the engine bay surround. I think that looks really cool. Thanks Hydra for that. And look, basically tomorrow I'll just button up the exhaust, you know, do a static time, get the thing running, and looking forward to taking it for a spin. This 1916 engine, it was pretty rowdy, and I'm feeling like with the bigger carbs on it, she's going to have a bit more top end, so looking forward to that. Anyway, that's it for me today, and I'll catch up with you in the morning. Well, good morning, and we're back, and today is the day. We're going to get this thing cracking, going to get it started, hoping that I've put everything together properly. You know, all it takes is one loose nut, and kabang, she's stopping, but I'm feeling pretty positive about it, so I'm just going to get cracking with it. We're going to do exhaust, carb linkages, plug the leads in, you know, belts, a bit of electrical. There's not a lot to do, but this is the bit that you kind of got to, you know, start tuning and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's get on with it. Well, that means I'm going backwards again. These short manifolds don't work with a cross linkage. Probably would have had to set that up with a center pull, which I've got one, but it's on the other motor, so hot damn, looks like I'm back to the old drawing board. That there is the problem I was dealing with. So you can see that one, probably a good 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches taller than that one. And they're offset as well. The other thing I noticed is they're a good, you know, 48, maybe even bigger, 50 mil. Whereas these are 45, which is, you know, perfect for the carbs I'm getting. So hopefully that, all these little things, they add up. So we've got the tinware on. I had to take the pulley off to do that. I was looking at this other pulley I had, and I thought maybe I'd use it, but because the groove on the oil slinger seems to be a little deeper on this, but that one's black. So I like it. Belt's on, tinware's on. You can see where I've had trouble trying to get this into a car previously. Throttle linkages are on. I've set a base timing on the carbies before I hook up the actual linkages. I've set a base timing of 1.5 turns out on the idle air mixtures, and half a turn out from seated on the idle screws. That should get me running. Just got to hook up the electricals basically. Electricals, oil. Don't forget to put the oil in it. So electricals, oil. I will hook up this storage gauge. It usually doesn't start reading until she's real warm, but I'll hook it up anyway. Anyway, keep cracking. Well, here goes the first crack. Usually it's not a win. You never know. I'll turn the key on and get some fuel pumping. going up, which is good. Yep, squirter action. Give her a couple of pumps in each one. There goes that one. Kick her in the guts. Alright, so I took it for its first spin. Look, I'll be honest, I think these carbs are junk. I can't tune. Number 2 cylinder is just non-responsive to the air fuel, the idle air fuel mixture screw. Basically, and if I spray flammable spray around this area here, the revs pick up. So I feel like it's probably sucking air through somewhere where it shouldn't. And making it, making that mixture screw non-responsive. So what I'm going to do, I've decided I'm just going to yank these off now. Option 1 would be to put the empties back on it. I have run these on a few cars. They run all right. I reckon I need to go through them and just check. I feel like they're maybe leaking fuel through when the car's switched off somehow, the pressure, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like I get a lot of fuel in the oil. So I'm just going to give them a rest, and I've decided, hey, look, this engine is not going to be, that car's going to be a while before it runs. So I'm just going to yank these Rod Penrose carbs off here. He reckons they're good carbs. I'd like to give them a test. I'll put them on this car. If they run good on that engine, I'll just get another set for this later. Or do something else. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just about to yank them off there. I'm going to run them on there as he's jetted them for this bigger engine. Let's just see what happens. I can always change the jets pretty easy. So I'm just going to get on with that. Well, I guess the Penrose carbs are in. Haven't hooked the linkages up yet. Look, there's not much else to do but twist on the key and hope she fires. See what it does. Make sure it's not in gear. That would be bad. Nothing yet. Oh, big fuel leak. Oh, yes. Massive amounts of fuel because, well, I haven't hooked the fuel lines up. Just pumping fuel out onto the floor. Great. Oh, that's a big puddle. Just, holy smokers. At least the floor will be clean, I guess. Oof. No one smoke. Oh, bleeding from another spot. Look, I'm bleeding from there, there now, there. Oof. couple of days of doing this and you're just bleeding from everywhere. Gauge usually only kicks in when I get under revs for some reason. I've got oil pressure, it's a little lower than I'd like, but it's idling pretty low, so I probably will have to bring that idle up a little bit. That was a lean pump. This road is wild. You can barely open it up. Yep, she's running back to idle, which is good. Definitely running better. Look, I'm going to say that was a pretty successful first run. You know, we fed it the onions and it kind of responded, which was good. A few minor issues like, you know, the big puddle of oil coming out of the valve covers, which I think I've sussed out, but these are minor things. These are just little tweaks that have to be made. Look, it's great to see the 1916 back in the rat trap. This thing's actually pushing some horsepower, which is nice. And look, that's going to have to do it for this one. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Hope you guys all come back, and I'll catch you later.